Welcome back, Charles. Welcome back.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Sorry about last week. I guess, full disclosure, I don't know how much we've told the fans or the listeners, but the wife had her appendix taken out. But during that process, they found a mass on her kidney, 3.2. Long story short, we got the information Friday. Oh, excuse me, Friday, and it's just a 2 year wait and see. Doesn't really seem to be anything too crazy. She's going through some blood work to see if there's any syndromes. I'm thinking there might be. But anyways, I had a lot on my mind. Hearing the good news that she didn't have cancer or anything like that. Yeah, I just sat down, hit the Benjamin, and got lost in a command and conquer game. And the next thing I knew, it was like, fuck.
The only thing you missed out on is this right up here. The story.
I once got a lever gun. Yeah, no, I just have all that in the conversation with you guys. It's one of my best parts. One of the best parts about this show.
We'll get
So,
right back at it tomorrow. There's
yes, sir.
actually, hopefully, there'll be a lot of things developing tomorrow. There's a few teams that have
There'll be
pretty
a
much
couple.
lit a fire under their coaches.
There'll be a couple sports topics too that I don't know if y'all have discussed them yet, but I don't think we ever really sat down and discussed the college football playoff afterwards.
No. We were talking to. I told them to bring the. I wanted them to bring the best and the worst. Give me the best player, your MVP, and your pooper stinker.
Yeah, I think we could do. I love that. Yeah, I think we could just do a couple league recaps. We could talk about USA beating the shit out of Canada, both on the ice and on the ice. That was fun. That'd be really fun. But yeah, no, I've just been lost in the sauce the last few months because we found it just before she tried to die on me. Sat around for 20 hours thinking it was a gas bubble. Jesus, 20-hour gas bubble. But everything is well. All is going great, and we're back on track. So we've got the house coming up soon. Then in a few years, we've got the old man coming down and living with us. So I'm really looking forward to that. Getting to spend football Sundays with him again is going to be a lot of fun. But otherwise, that's the quick recap into why I've been a space case the last 3-4 weeks, to be honest with you. So it's good to be back, man.
We've been rolling. We've been rolling through it. Like I told you, I did a little bit of research on the two topics that we got for today. Then I sent you that weird one. I went on a rabbit hole with that guy. I sent it to you in Messenger there. You're going to get lost into that one. Make sure you hit the Benjamin for that one because it is a dark fucking road you went on with that.
I was just looking at that crocodile armor you sent me.
So the crocodile armor is in the British Museum. It's in London.
Yeah.
So this isn't just something that they found. Apparently, this goes back to 3 AD or pre-3 AD. Crocodiles in Egypt were revered as gods. So it was really weird for them to find crocodile armor in Egypt because it's basically almost like sacrilege for these people to be like, yeah, we just harvested a crocodile and we're just going to wear its armor.
That screams probably more around like 225 AD to 350-ish AD, because around that time the Roman Empire slithered down into Egypt.
That is what they're thinking. They're thinking it's the Romans did it to scare the Egyptians.
I looked into it. It turns out like it was some kind of cult.
So it's made from the skin of the crocodile, and it's actually sewn, which is even creepier. That they sewn it around somebody to make it like basically custom fit crocodile suits.
Yeah,
like, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it was like just based off of my very little knowledge. I'm sure it's a lot more than some people's, but we'll just say my very little knowledge. During that time, it was the same time when if you saw a light in the sky, like God was pissed and you killed your neighbor so the grass would grow greener, right? So I'm guessing they probably dressed up as like crocodile people.
Yeah,
to fuck with.
This is what it says.
Yeah, I was just saying they probably dressed up as crocodile people to fuck with the locals to get them to sway more towards the Roman Empire.
Military style ceremonies of the regional regional crocodile cult. So yeah,
Yeah.
they literally, and then they put the mummified bodies in grottos of the soldiers that died with the armor on, and then basically mummified them with the freaking crocodile head
Yeah.
over the skull. Just
Yeah.
yeah, they went all in on it.
Just if we're sitting here talking about it, a couple of the really crazy things, right? Because you had the tribes that would roam around with like lion's head and shit, like they're
Yeah.
the greatest warriors, shit like that. It makes sense to have a crocodile head.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if anybody ever had like a fucking shark head.
I mean,
Can you
not that
imagine? You just trucking along, you and your company, and then all of a sudden, out of the woods, like this fucking tribe rolls up with
starts
damn
running at
shark
you with a
head
fucking
armor and
shark
shit.
head.
Like, what the fuck is going on? That'd be cool as spit. Or like, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, fucking blah blah blah, lion." They're walking around with lion heads. I never saw rhino heads. I've never even seen it. Right?
The thing probably weighs 200 pounds. So
Yeah, you take some of that motherfucking weight off. I'm just saying. I think that would have been a symbol, bro. And then my spear is with that fucking rhino horn.
Yeah,
Bro,
because
rip, stab, rip.
Up in Canada, they got the skinwalkers.
The 51st state?
Yeah, the 51st state. And so Canada's got this weird thing with the skinwalker. A lot of the tribes up there, especially Saskatchewan and like over there towards Calgary and that. But it's just wild to me that they've got these stories where people go out with like moose, and these like moose are walking on 2 feet, and they're called like not deer.
Yeah.
The not deer is a wild one. Yeah, if you want to look that up, that's just
crazy. Absolutely.
Yeah, but anyway, they would dress up like with moose heads and deer heads and the antlers, and they'd let the blood run down their face, and they would go after people with spears and bows and arrows and all kinds of shit. Yeah, like they did it. And then the headhunters from up in that area too. There was headhunters, people that would decapitate people, leave their heads on stakes. And this is like 1800s. This shit was still going on. They were doing this stuff because they were protecting their land.
Let's just hypothesize for a second.
All right, yeah, I'm
right.
100%. I'm ready.
You and I, we're just
you and I are hiking.
We're just explorers, bro.
We're just explorers.
We're just explorers. 1800s. Ain't nobody going out jogging for fun.
No,
right?
No, we're out there to hunt or fish or gather.
Yeah.
Me, I'm more of a berry guy or maybe a fishing guy, and then you're out there with the bow and arrow, and you're gonna shoot us a buffalo or
something. Hunting. I'm a little bit ahead of you, and I stop walking, and you waltz up. Hey, man, what's up? And you look at my face, and it's just stone cold, just staring, right? I point, and then you look, and it's fucking 25 heads, steaks, flies, buzzing,
just one after another.
Stinks like all hell. We've been talking about this smell for almost a mile.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
Now we're looking at it. It's looking at us. Glossed over eyes, dried blood in little droplets, right? Just dark red steaks. Do we keep going forward, or is this?
No. I run as fast the opposite direction that I can.
Oh, I'm not making that much noise. I'm just gonna walk and see what happens next. Because I'm not gonna die tired. I'm not gonna die tired.
You think I want to see what laid these?
No. Here's the thing, right? Like, you're not gonna put those heads there to then kill me. If I go past the heads, right? That's what's going to happen if I go past those heads, right? But that's a territorial marking sign. That's my thought process, anyways. I don't know. Maybe that thought process doesn't lead to let's chop off their head and put it on a fucking ball.
But it depends on what kind of savages they were.
I'm just saying, I think it works. I think it definitely.
This is psychological warfare, pre-psychological warfare.
It's not like you got a gun. You got some, 1800s. You got some guns.
I know. Even hypothetically, if this was you and I back in like the 700s,
I don't know. If we got a couple if we got a couple revolvers and shit, I'm gonna go check out.
Good about my chances if we got
a couple. Check out what's happening. It just depends. If we were out there, if I only hit a bow, I had a bow and arrow.
So you think they come running at us?
I'm not Legolas.
Pew 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 pew.
I can't walk on the fucking snow. I'm not no damn elf. No.
You don't have any moccasins or any snowshoes. Beaver skin snowshoes.
Climb a tree very well. But I like our chances, to be honest with you. There's a lot of places where you could get fucked up, but there's a lot of places where you could do the fuck.
At this point, we were probably coming from civilization, so we knew about the wheel and we knew about technology and other stuff. These people are I'm assuming they're savages if they're doing this to people. So
Yeah,
who
I
knows
mean,
who knows what they know?
because maybe the story isn't that we were out there hunting and gathering. Maybe we had some friends from the village go missing.
Yeah.
And we're part of this hunting party, and now we see this line of heads. I'm pretty sure I know they're in there because their head isn't on this stake yet. And we've heard many stories of people getting drug into the woods and never seen them again.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems like a better story to me. This seems like a fucking movie plot.
I think I would check it out.
I'd check it
know.
out.
I don't know if I would want to get too close or just waltz in there and go introduce myself.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't go screaming in there.
How's it going? You guys having a party?
But you bet your ass I'd run down to the pond and I'd fucking just straight camouflage. Like, I want to look like I can
dive head first into the old mud.
I want to be able to sit there and like somebody walks by me, like I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I open my eyes and they see the white of my eyes, but that's the only thing they see. And then I'm like, I'm here to get my friend, bitch. Yeah. Crocodile armor took us down a weird
we had
hole.
The crocodile armor. There you go. They're definitely not penetrating that crocodile armor with regular bows and arrows. At least we're gonna pretend that they don't.
You have to assume they have guns.
I don't know. Living in the woods like that, I don't think they have.
You got all those people's heads on stakes. One of them motherfuckers had to have a gun. They were out there hunting or something.
Maybe.
Do they use them?
There's a weird thing about.
You can assume they're the smartest person in the room is never the one who says it out loud. You know what I'm saying? Right? We can't assume they're dumb.
About the natives, like when they settled Plymouth Rock and all that stuff, and they met the savages, Native Americans.
A goony goo goo.
Yeah.
Oh no! Stop it! A goony goo. That's
well, anyway, they killed them.
Fucking Eddie Murphy.
And apparently they didn't want their weapons because they thought that they were tainted and that they were evil. So they burned them or they did something or they threw them in a pit. I can't remember what it was, but apparently they didn't want to use white man's weapons.
Yeah.
You know, to put it as crudely as possible, I guess that's the way I put it. Yeah, apparently they didn't want to use the weapons. They would use tools.
We're talking about the same people who named the moose not deer.
Yeah.
So I think we can go ahead and say they were also saying the white man weapons. I'm comfortable saying that.
We call them whatever we want.
I'm comfortable saying
just make up a word, Charles. It's fine.
I'm comfortable saying. No, I'm good. In the beginning, there was a goony goo goo. Yeah. What the fuck does a goony goo goo mean, Gus?
He's saying it in his own language. Just leave him be.
Oh man. Oh no, that's pretty intense. It's funny to think. Well, that was a fun little hypothetical there, by the way. But it's funny to think like how much people got away with based off of not fucking knowing a thing, right? Like in the 1800s, like you'd go to the doctors and you would get like meth and
you had a toothache
and liquor and shit and
poke around in your mouth and go, you got a toothache, and they go in there and open up and they'd beat it with a hammer. They try pulling it out with pliers, and if that didn't work, they'd tell you to suck on some freaking whiskey and cocaine.
Or you would go home and get the ghost out your blood. Yeah. I completely understand how these people got their heads cut off.
The snake oil one and the banshees and all those people. That shit was just wild to me. They were just selling fucking placebos to people.
Right. You know? Because like arguably what we know today as what we know it as is either only because of science or somebody created it off of like image, right? Like a banshee. Right, I'm in the 1800s. I see some things screaming through the woods. I'm not going to be like, "Oh my god, that was a banshee." I'm going to be like, "Hey, what the fuck was that?" I think that's how they talked back then.
How much of actual history that we know of today do you believe was verbally taught and told, more so than actually written down? Because I know a lot of the history pre whatever was all stories told down. That's why that's that theory, right? That you keep telling somebody a story and the story keeps changing or they keep adding things to it.
So this is a pretty deep conversation for me anyways.
Well, I'm just saying.
Because there's 5 unchanged stories for thousands of years.
Yes, we know, yeah.
And Christianity isn't one of them. Christianity is actually the newest religion. Atheism, out of the, we'll call it the original six, or however many you want. But anywho, to answer your main question right off the top would be, hey, there's my buglers back there. I like my buglies. But anyways, history was written by the victor. And that's super important, right? Because, for example, if Rome never fell, we would only know Roman history today. But because Rome fell, we only know Rome from the stories of those who conquered it and from the stories of those who gave the reason to be conquered. You know what I'm saying? Some of the coolest things like I've thought about and things they're finding in Pompeii is like what the basic everyday person did, right? If like in 75 years, bro, let's say America gets fucking ran over or some shit, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, ain't nobody still uncovering like, shit there in Pompeii. They just uncovered one where a guy didn't he have his arms around his dog or something?
Some shit like that. Yeah. But if America gets like overwritten in 75 years, 100 years from that, there's going to be maybe a handful of people who know of the presidents of the United States, and like they're basically going to be historians, and hopefully that fucking library or computer doesn't burn down. You know what I'm saying? So like history, dude, and we're like 1/1,000,000th of a second on the timeline of Earth, I know. Of the human portion.
That's the crazy part, is that how recently new humanity actually is. Even not even just humanity as we know it right now, like all of existence for humankind is, like you said, you blink your eye, that's about the equivalent of what it is.
Yeah, it's really hard to think too that like in 100 years society has advanced further than it could in 7,000 years. But that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So history is fun, but I try to focus more on the unchanged stories. Two specific stories. They date back millennia. Shangri-La. Oh, no, I'm thinking about Shangri-La. Don't lose the other one. I lost the other one. Oh, yeah, Viracocha. Viracocha. Who, if you don't know who Viracocha is, it's worth looking up. I'll give you a hint. It's Jesus before Jesus.
The reason I brought that to you is because somebody had a podcast and I listened to it the other day, and it's the opposite of what you would think.
Yeah.
So it says a very small, when you Google how much of history is told versus how much is actually read, only about 2% of history was actually written down. The rest of it, like you said, was told through stories, or someone wrote it down after someone told them about it. And like you said, it's by the victors. It's the people who won, obviously, that are telling these stories, because the other ones are fucking dead or they're long gone. It's still written down, but it's verbally told to be written down, because back in the day, they used to have scribes and people who would write down what you would say.
Or written in a language or in some form that we don't understand today.
Deciphered,
Or, these are all definitive things also, or they could be locked up in the Vatican in an area that wasn't sealed or controlled.
I still believe that's one of the things on planet Earth that people can't wrap their head around. The fact that there are secrets there that they literally will not allow anybody to go in and check out and see. And if you even venture to ask to go see that, you are shunned from ever even coming back again.
It's speculated, and I'll just say speculated for the sake of the show, that that the scrolls of Alexandria are down underneath the Vatican.
Yeah.
But I do know that there are parchments down there that are so old that you cannot read them today.
No, you couldn't unwrap them. Yeah, they're just there.
Because they would fall to dust the moment you touched them. They're just it's not a controlled environment.
They weren't.
And even if it would have been, like, you can't use today's technology to save yesterday's technology.
It's not there for the preservation of it. It's there for the simple fact that it should only be there because it's a holy place.
That, and there's probably things in there that would stop people giving money to the church. So we
Probably.
but
Speaking of
it's a
speaking of people
conversation for
giving money for things they
another day.
shouldn't.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of people giving money for things they shouldn't, back in the 1960s, Charles, did you ever hear about these chimpanzees that were figure skating? They took them to the figure skate. Well, there was 3 of them. All right. Yeah. And here, if you Google, anybody out there, you want to Google it. It was 3 figure skatings. In the 1960s, several chimpanzees were taught how to skate, perform, and ice shows. Ron Luddington taught a chimp named Sam how to perform for 6 months. Jinx, Spanky, and Sam. Jinx, born in 1953, was a chimpanzee, performed with Darlene Selleck in the ice skating duo Darlene and Jinx. Jinx was featured in the 1960 Winter Sports program, basically the Olympics. Spanky was a chimpanzee, performed in the traveling ice show Ice Capades with animal trainer Dave Pitts. Spanky was also known as the world's only ice skating chimpanzee at the time. And Sam was taught by Ron, and I don't believe he performed. But I got a little video here. We can watch this little minute-long video. We can watch the ice skating chimps so we can get a little bit of a glimpse. And I want your opinion on this. If this is animal abuse or is this like literally something that
I promise you, it was animal abuse.
I know it was animal abuse, but I'm just saying, is this something that obviously they just did because they wanted to?
Bro, what fuck you could have did this last week. You had me down here staring at it last week.
Good skates for a jolly good skate. None other than Jerry the Chimp. The favorite of the Berlin Circus is training hard, determined to make a name for himself at the next Winter Olympics. Already he's showing form that makes his rivals tremble. No wonder he draws the crowd for a daily training routine.
You might blow through this that was fun.
Obstacles are just there to be got over. There's a lot of intelligence in high-class skating. This is where you want it. Follow my leader and you'll come to no harm. The only crocodile with a chimp for its head.
That was hilarious, but that was loud as... we might blow somebody's speakers. There should have been like a disclaimer there or something.
The skating chimpanzee.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that video was loud as piss, dude.
That's fine. I like it.
Could you hear me talk to you?
No, could you hear me?
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
I could hear you in the background going, whoa.
Just wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, we're on the same page, animal abuse. They had the damn thing. All right, if you guys are only going to be listening to the audio portion of the podcast,
you can't even hear us anymore.
Charles, go ahead and just go ahead and give him the attire that they dressed this chimpanzee up in. He had white figure skates. Do you have blue jeans on?
In the black and white video, it definitely looked like overalls. I think that was just the basic outfit you put a monkey in, though, back in those days.
Is it, or did they try to dress him like a little boy? It looked like they tried to dress him like a child. They put a scarf on him and everything.
Oh, yeah.
He had the whole get up.
Yeah.
It almost seemed like he was mocking the kids, too, and he was pointing at his head like, think about it. You guys can do this.
Where's my hat? He's probably telling people I'm fucking cold.
I'm fucking bald up here. I'm a fucking chimp. It's crazy to me that the shit that they did, these were all, come on, let's be honest. these were all social experiments for animals. They did this shit to...
Oh, bro, listen. People have a really hard time with Hollywood today. A majority of people do. And I get that. I do as well.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for the motion picture, like, we would still be looking at dime museums and shit.
Yeah, we got to bring that up. Maybe next week.
I mean, so like the first dime museum opened up in, I think it was 1841, but it didn't. Dude, they ran until the early 20th century, bro. Yeah, it was 1841. It was in New York. but they ran until the fucking early 20th century, and then movies, bro.
1841, P.T. Barnum purchased his first dime museum in New York City. Okay, he purchased his first one.
So no, they were all privately owned. Yeah.
Entertainment, curiosities. It said family-friendly fun.
Dude,
I looked at a lot of this. That's what they called it, family-friendly fun.
You would, dude. You would get off work, and it was a dime, and we'll talk about it on the next episode. We've got it now. We've got back to back. We said we were going to talk about it on this one. Fun. I fucked that one up. Sorry, team.
We talked about bringing this up on the show, so we'll bring it up next week.
We'll bring it up next week. We'll deep dive into it. But yeah, dude, no, I'm not shocked at all. At one point in time, there was a World Fair museum, or there was a World Fair exhibit, and it was like, and I'm sure I'm saying this wrong, but I'm just going to say it anyways. And if I have to correct anything, I'll correct it next week. But it was like the world's dangerous mammal exhibit.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yes.
And then you went to look at what was behind the bars, and it was a mirror, and it just showed you, the human. Yeah. So I believe it.
Okay.
Like I've been places where people have been chained up, and they asked our doctor if we could fix them, and like they're chained to a doghouse and shit, dude. And it's just because they're super autistic or something.
I know where this originated now, then. Because somebody brought this up on a different podcast episode. It was the world's worst taxidermy, and a lot of them were really old, like 100, 200 years old, and they came from the dime museums. People were trying to create things that didn't exist.
Yeah, that's half of the first dime museum in New York actually was filled with taxidermy and random exhibits.
That's probably where the jackalope came from.
We'll dig into it. Oh, fuck, man. Isn't that Mexico?
I don't know. I thought it was just somebody being dumb and they got hammered or something and found a couple animals and sewed them together. I don't know.
I get pretty cheesed and think of things like a duck with a snake head.
Yeah, we will make our own with AI. We'll make our own animal dime museum. It won't be a touching physical one. It'll just be video only.
Then I'll unveil to y'all the snuck. I call it the snuck. It's me and the AI.
I've got Charles. I have an even scary one, a snappapus. So it's a snapping turtle platypus.
Yeah. Dude, go to the AI, go to Bing, and Bing's gonna be like, "Yo, what's up?" And go, "Hey, I've got an idea. I want to turn into a photo," and then just start walking it out. And the other day, I created a lion with horse feet. And it was like a rhino. Oh, it was a horse. It was a horse with lion's feet and a lion's head.
I am 1,000% convinced that you, me, Paul, and Mike need to do an AI episode where we try to create the most creepiest, craziest looking freaking monster.
Dude, you guys are gonna lose. I've been doing this for my book for 2 years.
I know, but we gotta try. It'll be
you guys can try all you want. Let's do it. I love it. Dude, up here is a crazy place to be sometimes. I love it.
I agree.
The train I created. Oh man, we can't talk about this. My autistic side is going to show hard. This has been a great episode. So next week we're going to do dime museums, and we'll deep dive into some AI creative talk.
Yeah.
And then we'll bring up the AI battle tomorrow.
Right. I will create my best, and then I'll bring it. Yeah. You bring a couple of just give us a couple teasers, Charles, next week.
I don't care. Fuck, dude. Listen, the only reason I have these ideas is because the universal stream of knowledge gifted them to me. But just because I got it, it doesn't mean other people can't receive it either. There's a lot actually behind that as well. We'll touch on that. We'll touch on that on an episode. Edison and Tesla battles.
Yeah, we got about another month left before we really start diving back into the NFL. So I think we're good.
Fucking aliens, man.
Okay, I lied, Charles. Mine is I just typed this in Bing, and it is the most cutest fucking thing I've ever seen when I told it to make a platypus snapping turtle. It's a platypus head on a snapping turtle body.
Oh, yeah. That's why I said you got to walk it out. One of the very first things I got was like a duck with snake fangs. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, this is not for a children's book.
A duck with snake fangs.
Yeah, I was like, this is not. I want the body of a duck with the long snake neck and the fucking viper mouth. Can you imagine that flying at you? Fucking venom from the sky, bro.
Apparently,
people would look up in grocery stores. People would
know,
start looking up in grocery stores, which is a psychological thing if you want to look into that.
The sound for the velociraptor, it came from a bird that actually exists in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
Yeah,
that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Australia is literally everything wants to kill you in Australia.
It's these weird, like, giant bill something. Anyway, yeah, they're like 6 feet
tall. Oh, yeah, they just stand in the rain and shit.
They just stand there. But they're like really social animals. They'll like imprint on a person. Yeah.
Gay.
Yeah, but you probably could train them to be an asshole.
I don't think we're allowed to say that anymore.
No, I think we're allowed to now.
Well, that's an early '90s thing.
We got all of our privileges back.
Yay, freedom of speech!
Yeah, freedom of speech.
Well, anyway, I didn't. Anyways, I didn't mean it that way.
No, I know.
Yell at me if you want.
I got a purple leprechaun purple, pink, and orange leprechaun over here. We're good.
I was gonna say, there's literally a rainbow over your fucking shoulder.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Man, it's good to be back. I appreciate you. Those are some good topics, man.
We can keep rolling through them next week.
The Dime Museum is going to be fun next week.
Oh, I can't wait. I want to go through and try to find a video showing the old dime museums, and then I can do a little research based off that. I already get the gist of what you're saying off of it, but I think I want to be creeped out more by going and diving deep into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, do it. You're not really going to find any videos on it.
You probably are going to find AI videos.
Oh, yeah. Same fucking thing in my mind.
Yeah.
AI wishes it was as creative as my mind.
Wasn't there a Netflix series based off of dime museums, though?
I think there
Netflix. Was. Yeah. Because there was like the platypus boy, or not platypus boy, but like seal boy and bearded woman and all this.
I have Netflix for free and I still don't watch Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, maybe watching a couple shows on it, but I don't really.
Rachel does from time to time.
Yeah.
But even now I think it was like that Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, she was into that too. She watched like the entire 95 seasons that there are of it.
Yeah. Rachel's watched it 4 or 5 times.
Still going on right now.
It is.
They're still making episodes.
Somebody died. Somebody came back.
Yeah, the one dude that come back from the dead and then he's still in the show. I think that really fucked everybody up. They're like, the guy's died and then he came back. Like, I don't get.
Did he die?
Did he need money? Like, I don't get it.
Maybe it was his twin. Yeah. You got anything else you want to add?
No, we're really gonna remember tomorrow. Bring your heat. I want your worst and best performers of the season. So give me your Tinker Stinker, and I want obviously your MVP. It doesn't have to necessarily be the MVP of the league, but the person who I'd just say the person who exceeded everybody's expectations.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I think I already know what yours is gonna be, but yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's true.
Maybe.
I definitely know. I don't know who your stinker is, but
yeah.
Don't make it that obvious. I told Paul. I said, don't say Caleb Williams.
No, Caleb Williams didn't disappoint me.
No,
he in fact did exactly what I thought he was going to do.
Yeah,
it's not a disappointment at all.
Pretty average for a fucking rookie quarterback.
The Bears organization is a disappointment.
They'll figure it out eventually. Eventually, they'll get back to the playoffs at least. Hopefully, they'll have something to look forward to for the future. Because right now, it's not looking good.
Yeah, maybe.
I said future.
No, I know.
100 years from now.
I know. That was the same thing they said in '86. That was a long fucking time ago.
The Cubs were saying it for over 100 years. So.
It's just a Chicago thing. 2 years ago, the Chicago White Sox won 3 games 2 or 3 years ago.
I have a lot of high hopes for the Tigers this year. And the Pistons, the fact that Pistons are in like the 7th seed right now, that might be the only reason that I tune in to watch the NBA playoffs. Might be the only reason. Hey, we were telling them to sell the team, and now they might make the postseason.
They should still sell the fucking team.
I don't think they will. Now they're selling tickets.
Hell no, they were selling tickets the whole fucking time.
No, they weren't selling out. They've been selling out.
I would like to point out that you can go back and a couple of days before the screams for sell the team, I was spamming that shit on all of the social medias, all of them with my little blue check mark.
I fully remember you.
I would like to believe
You had something to do with it.
That I'm just saying, like, whenever there's an angry crowd, there's always that one person who's always like, Mammal, and then the whole crowd's like, Mammal, you know what I'm saying? And I walked in and I was like, Mammal, and then everyone's like, Mammal.
I think it was pretty obvious though that somebody needed to do that. And sometimes you have to be the asshole that just stands up and says, I'm sick of it, and I ain't watching. I ain't watching. This is bullshit.
My final thought for the day is I'm really fucking pissed at the Facebook avatar. At some point in time, it decided I'm fat. And it's changed me to a husky fella.
It just picked it. How does it just decide?
It's been growing. Like, my beard is bigger and there's some gray in it and shit. So, like, it's gathering its information from the photos I'm putting on Facebook. So I get it. But, like, you couldn't tell.
Is it just
couldn't tell me.
You don't think that it's just because maybe your photos are closer to the screen and it's picking up on it? Like, if you stay back farther, it's gonna think you're a smaller guy.
I don't know. It's just telling me I'm fat.
Oh, mine's always been fat, so I guess I don't really know where to buy into this one.
Like, my pant size is like a 34, 35 here, bro. Like,
I'm telling you what, AI's got no.
That fucking Facebook photo, it makes me look like I'm in a damn 42.
Yeah.
44. I'm just saying, it was a final thought. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Facebook gets freedom, and now Facebook's just going around calling everyone fat.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. I'm chill with it. Whatever. I'm trolling. I'm just not happy about it.
Yeah, just like that guy who was eating that fucking donut in line at Quick Trip. Just don't give a single fuck. None.
No. I ate one of them long johns over there. I gotta pay for it.
Yeah, you gotta pay for it.
What the fuck? It doesn't have a barcode on it.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't. The register does, though.
I'm just saying. You saw me eating it.
You knew I had
dude,
it.
Dude, I get it if you got like a kid or some shit, but yeah, that's always whatever.
Hey, some people
think it's. Some people just think it's their world and everyone's paying rent.
Speaking of, all right, just for a second before we shut it down, I saw Sam's Club, them walking around eating pizza. They get it and they immediately start eating it, and then they walk around the store. I thought there, just like Costco, there was a designated food area. They got all them picnic tables out there. But I saw a guy, he had a full fucking pizza that you can go into Costco or Sam's and buy, and he's opening the box as he's pushing his cart through, and he's slopping that shit all over the place. And I'm like, bro.
I'm on the other side of this.
I get it because there's that robot in Sam's Club that goes around and
does that's not why I'm on the other.
Have you ever ran into that thing?
Oh, I know.
It almost hit me one day, and I'm like, I thought this thing knows me. I'm fat. You can see me, fuckface. Like, come on, don't hit me.
No, this is funny too. No, I'm totally the guy who would walk around. Kudos on the whole pizza box. Like, I would just go get a couple slices because it's cheap and quick. Yeah. But there's science behind it. Now, it's not smart to go grocery shopping hungry. So if you can get like a $6 pizza, an $8 pizza, it's probably going to save you $50, $60 of bullshit.
Probably. You're not going to buy all that stupid shit.
The donut at the gas station, shit like that. If you ain't a kid or something.
That was weird to me.
But I guess, no. Because you were like, oh, Sam's Club, a guy eating a pizza. And I was like,
yeah, it was more so how he was doing it. He had the box.
The whole pizza box thing.
That's open and pushing the cart.
Yeah, that's
one hand. Yeah, well, whatever. He was dedicated.
That's a whole nother level.
Yeah, he was on that level.
That's a whole nother level. And again, I don't know if I'm impressed or shocked.
It was a little both.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you're the person who would eat pizza out of a pizza box while you're grocery shopping,
you were doing that shit regardless of what it was.
Definitely the type of person who parks like an asshole.
Yeah, he was a crooked parker for sure.
I think we could. I'm wondering if we can connect those dots.
You probably can. You just want to follow somebody around.
Maybe there's comments and shit. People can look for it, but I bet you can connect those dots.
Could get arrested for fucking harassment. Following somebody around with a GoPro.
Not like the people who are just eating food not normally. I don't even know what's normal.
What do you do if the guy stops you? You say, "I'm connecting the dots."
You tell the fucking truth. Yeah, I'm just saying if you park like a douchebag.
I want to see if
what are they
A
gonna
plus
say?
B
Fuck
equals
you.
C. Yeah.
Well, fuck you. You're acting like a douchebag, so I'm thinking you park like a douchebag, right? Yeah, because sometimes you just gotta ask yourself, what if that happened to you? What would you do? Like, how would you react? The only thing you're ever gonna know is how you would react. You're never gonna know how somebody else is gonna react. If somebody came up to me while I was eating my food with a fucking camera, and they're like, "Yo, what up?" I'd be like, "Whoa, dude. Did your parents not hug you enough?" And then they would say something weird, and then I would just like keep eating my pizza and shit. And they would walk with me and realize that they just wasted a whole bunch of fucking time.
But there's a lot of people out there that do that shit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's I don't want to be that person, but I think it would be funny to troll someone like that at least one time, just one time.
Oh, I don't.
I told you about the parking lot I told you about the parking lot at the grocery store. Mandy went in, and that lady chasing the grocery cart, the good pedestrian for trying to get the grocery cart while the wind was whipping it into another car.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing about the carts. The
cart theory. Are you going to bring up the cart theory?
Wait. There's a cart theory.
Yeah.
What is it, real quick?
Apparently, the cart theory is that you can tell what kind of a person is. Basically, whether or not they bring the cart back.
Oh yeah, no, I can, but I'm pretty sure it's not the right thing. I think you're a fucking sucker if you bring that cart back. I think you're a sucker because guess what? That fucking store has people paid to go out there and get that spit. That's literally their entire job. How dare you? How dare you do somebody else's job for free? That's fucked up. That's all you're doing. Hey, what the hell you mean bringing the cart back into the store means you're a good
No, not
person.
bring it back into the store. I'm talking about just the people that don't put them in the cart corral.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I hate those people.
I guess those other people are pushovers.
Suckers. Right? Because you are wasting your time.
The only other time is maybe if you take that from an elderly person or a child.
Oh, listen, now being a good person, not being a good human.
I'm saying that's your loophole right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I would take it and just put it in the fucking cart rack.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're going to be like,
no, even if they were halfway to the store, I would take it and bring it back to the fucking cart rack. People get paid to do this. Why are you wasting? Why are you wasting your time? Yeah, why are you wasting your time? People get paid to do that. That's literally someone's entire job. Why waste your lifetime? It's so precious. Put it in the fucking rack, get in your car, and go. That's what I meant. Put it in the rack. Not yeah.
There's a lot of old people
you're
that
a good
don't listen
person.
to the podcast.
You can tell you're a good person if you bring the car back to the store. You, Jerry. Fuck. That sounds like something a Jerry would say.
A Jerry?
Yeah, you, Jerry. I like Jerry's, by the way. Almost every Jerry I've met has been nice, but it just seems like something a Jerry would say. All right, yeah, that's good final thoughts.
Yeah, I like to dive into the old little brain thinkers there every now and then.
I'm just saying, Jerry. But hey, it turns out we were right the whole time. And if you ask ancient astronaut theorists, they will tell you that not only are we not alone, but we have in fact never been alone.
In the eye, she lost back in the child, cause the mind all rest of the blind. Yeah, golden now bad in your life. In school, I see the bag. My beach did bring your eye. Had a boy with a light skin in the style.